Hey guys, this is Jorge Guzman. I'm more commonly known as Corporal Guzman, or the guy that comes out on TV and says "heal." Um, and the guy that calls on to the Spirit of God and the sky turns blue. I'm the guy that heals a lot of people. They also call me the Blue Angel, and so Dio Pico, whatever. Um, and many other things. Um, I'm going to issue the statement because I'm about to go into the court where, like, the gazillion time. Um, this all happened 5 years ago. I actually started since I was born. I was known to you know how I come out on television, and like you can see me on television and see a picture of me or whatever not, and you can see maybe um, you can hear me talk through the television and stuff like that. Well, I was a prophesied king before I was born. Queen Elizabeth was the first one to tell me about this, and then it was George Herbert Bush, even Selena, Quintana, Charlie Chaplin, and many other people that I watch videos and these are people that are called clairvoyants. People can have the ability to see things beyond hearing and sight. For most people, for some people, it's a natural gift. Some people have it through demonic influence. I don't know. Mine happened recently. I always have had it. You know, I've been able to see dreams and about the future and guidance and stuff like that. Mine is basically through the Holy Spirit. You know, and Joel 2:28 says, "And afterwards I will pour out my spirit. Some will see dreams, some will have visions, some will prophesy." That's what it's called, the clairvoyant, to see beyond the normal hearing and sound. And in this gift that I have developed more so in the last 5 years, I have grown to have much power that I created a place below the earth that reached from initially from the border of Canada to the border of Mexico, and from the west coast all the way to Texas. But now I just have expanded more, making copies. I guess the people that saw me doing it, that seemed like they were from Canada. Some clairvoyants from Mexico, some people from here, and black people, Asians, and Mexicans, and so on. And I even created the sun for this place. You know, initially they were asking me about this stuff. So anyway, I started creating more things about this for this place. But they developed it into something much greater, you know. They put about 20% work through some very unique technology, but through the powers that I have gained, I have also been enslaved, because I was the only one that could save the world from all this chaos. How is so? They had, about 5 years ago, there was some alien landing or demon landing or whatever, Bruma, right? Well, many of you may have forgotten about this, because part of the deal is to erase your memories. So some of you may not even know what I'm talking about. The point is that I have rescued this entire planet from going into hell many times. Right now, we're actually on our way there today, and I put it back where a far separate place from where it was. Well, at least that's my theory. I don't know if that happened. I cannot say that or confirm, but actually happened. in the earth many times. Anyway, we're right below at Oakland, California. The actual that is above. I made the first floor. The second floor is the original, and the third floor I've developed it, and I have ways to prove it too. And with much power that I was given, I was also given the Holy Spirit, you know. And so this Holy Spirit became very precious to the entity that had invaded us and enslaved us. So people started incubating me for looking for me for my sperm. As many women started looking for my sperm because part of my enslavement was that they would put me in a hotel and make me masturbate through witchcraft and deception and stuff like that. And then it turned out to be what's it called? Turned out to be a way to make me look bad to the public, like a drug addict, a sex addict, and stuff like that. But in reality, I'm not. When I'm away from all this situation, I'm actually a Christian, you know, who actually abide by God and stuff like that. More recently, since last year. I don't know. There are many things that happen and transpire in the process. You know, like some games that will make me become the perfect person. That basically the old me will die and the new me will be reborn. That happened, and that was under the government actually knowledge of the VA knowledge, because they told me that it puts something in my heart to measure the truth and to expand my empathy. Some people say they can hear me and feel me from far away. So my empathy grows very large. You know, I can cover a whole city with my spirit, with my empathy, and so they had knowledge of it. And so I was also told that I was going to go through a lot. You know, and some other man said, you know, what you're about to go through, you have to be both mentally, spiritually, and physically ready, because what you're about to go through is a rabbit hole. So this secret society of clairvoyance, so to speak, actually a prophecy came for them, you know, but in the process of the COVID-19 and all that stuff, I guess there was another time where I was also their king, and they didn't like it. So they found a way to send a message to the time and to redo everything. So this time they enslaved me, especially the Canadians that immigrated here. They felt neglected last time, and this time they want to. They wanted more, you know. So this happens, but the problem is that I'm also a king through God, you know, the Creator, which I have met in person, which I have seen in person. Just last year, he said, "I appoint you king over the earth." When he said that, I did not like it, because I don't see myself as a what's it called, aristocrat, you know, like proper in the throne and stuff like that. I don't see myself that way. So what do you mean a king? He said, a protector, you know. Show them the love that I have shown you. And that's what I've been trying to do, actually, since day one. Been trying to protect them, but in order to protect the world, I have to be out there. And part of my enslavement is for that reason. So the entire California system that I created down here by accident, not by accident, but out of frustration, because they were bothering me too much, you know. Some of them were demons. I know it sounds weird, but you can see the demons out in the clouds and stuff like that, so don't tell me it's not there. a lot. Even the VA, this last time that I went there, I told them I was hearing voices and stuff like that, and that I needed some medication. But she saw that, but I was able to prophesize the what's it called, the earthquake in Thailand, because the voices told me it was going to happen 7 days before it happened. So anyway, so my voices were actually real. As it turned out, the voices that I was hearing is the same people I'm with down here. I could actually tell you a lot of things. So, as you were probably able to hear my voice through telepathy, that's how I'm able to prove that everything that I'm saying and hearing is true. Is true. Just like right now, I can tell you, heal your mind, heal your body, heal your spirit, and you will sense something in you, and you know that I'm telling you the truth. So in doing so, in my enslavement, they also wanted the babies. He became very famous to get my sperm, and by now I have about 2% of the world population that is actually related to me, not just through a sweater, but through the DNA inside offsprings. So they would take out my sperm, add the genome of the other person, and put demonic or some kind of chemicals that actually makes them evil. So people actually think that they're demons, but they're not. They're just fed with some kind of chemical that makes them evil, like yellow light. Actually, the yellow is what kills me, because I have the Holy Spirit and the Spirit of God. The yellow kills me. The light of the sun, the blue, light blue, is kind of my light, and that actually makes me stronger. Anyway, I know this sounds kind of weird, but in California, you will know how I was tortured in order to keep me busy. It first started as a training for me to become a king, and so in order to get rid of my impurities, through so much suffering, you hit bottom, and the old you dies, and then you are reborn, right? Well, that was the theory, and it actually worked. I actually became a new person. Like when I died, I looked to God, and I was like, hey, God, I feel so alone. Please help me. That was but it was only supposed to last 3 months, and within the first 3 months, I achieved the perfect person that I was supposed to be. Because when I hit bottom, I called on to the Spirit of to God, and He shared the love through the people. And there, when I felt the love of the people, I felt the Holy Spirit, and it was like a blue light, like a light navy blue light, like a light blue. And sometimes you can see it in the sky when I call on to the Holy Spirit, or when I can make it rain holy water. Holy water, just water with the Holy Spirit, so I can show you that, that the light that I saw in me was good, so at first everybody knew what I was doing, what they were doing, They accused me of one thing, but then, at the end, right now, it turns out that they were just like the thing that they were accusing me of. And in that process of so many children, too, they have been enslaved. All my children have been enslaved and used for pedophilia, since birth, since children, since babies. And that's part of the demonic influences that were given to them. I know this is not going to make me very famous, because right now Satanism is very popular, and I'm not that popular, and that's why they bother me so much. They torture me day and night, so I won't adhere to my calling, to like make it for court date, make it to like, because I end up stabbing a guy in an accident because the same influence, they were influencing this guy to talk to me, from far away. And then when I go there, I wasn't talking to you. Are you crazy? Are you hearing things? You need to go to the doctor, and so on. But now I can do that too. I developed those skills, so I can prove it actually. So there's no way around it. I can prove it. And anyway, and it's in my home facility, the same place that I created myself. I even created the sun. I created the power. There's a self-sustaining power down here that's run by San El Padre. And then the light becomes self-sustainable. And now they got freaking generators to sustain it. So they used to make me walk in order to generate all the power and stuff like that. But all the things that I'm saying, I know it sounds incriminating, but I also have a good defense for it. So those that are really like they're accusing, because this became so prevalent that it became part of the government, became part of the police force. It became part of every establishment, every bus and everything used to reject me and call me a piece of shit, even though I was a provider. When people would die and some of them were brought back, I was actually the one to actually give them the full life, the breath of life that God gives. I have the power of God so well in me that I can call onto anything, and it turns out to be exactly that thing. Sometimes it's a hit and miss. Sometimes I'm being blocked. I have a lot of forces that actually go against me. But anyway, so I did a run from Sacramento all the way to San Diego, and also the same thing. This was all a game that got out of hand, and we don't know how to stop, basically. But the problem is that a lot of them have gained a lot of a lot of business through this enslavement, through my enslavement. And now when it's time to surrender it to me, that it was given to me, now they don't want to give it. So that's why so in order to keep going, to keep me out of it, they continue to torture me to see if I would give up. And the problem is that last month or a month ago, 300 of my 50 children were killed because they were so afraid that they were going to become witnesses. But the problem is that about 2% of the entire world population has my DNA. So all that was for, what's it called? All that was for nothing. So right now, I'm being enslaved. I was kept from, they took my car, they stole my wallet, they stole my ID. I got somebody impersonating me out there. And this is me, the true me, And I just want to put it out there that, the world really needed me. The whole war in Gaza, I could have ended a long time ago, because even the United Nations has heard my voice, and they're willing to work with me. They're willing to follow me. Even President Biden was enslaved. President Trump right now is enslaved. Even though he's one of the pioneers that got me here still. The Mexican government knows about me. The entire world knows about me, but nobody does anything to help me, out of my enslavement. But it's because it's not just about me. It's also about the children that they make through me. Like, I'm actually an incubator. They come and get weapons that they use against humanity, weapons that we're supposed to, like the power of the Holy Spirit and the power of Christ, the power of God. Look, just right here, I can say, by the power of God, por el poder de Dios. and you can see how it starts moving. The cloud starts moving, and even in you, like I said, by the power of Christ, the Spirit of Christ, and then you can feel something. And anyway, that's the problem. And right now they have a gang called Lobitos. Some are Mexican, some are black, and the other ones are white Mexicans, and now Chinese too, and Koreans, and they're all afraid to come forward because there's so much has been done. But I keep telling them, if you surrender, everybody's just as guilty as you are. And there could be a pardon for that because it's a way that, that evil just came into the world and took over us. But they don't want to, they're so attached to their wealth that they have accumulated through me that they don't want to surrender it. I have tried not to go into a lawsuit because nobody used to believe in me or used to believe me. But I think now is a good time to, the time of God is perfect. And I think this time it's good to post this video and have my statement known, because usually they portray me as a pervert, as a I don't want to say the word, but as a drug addict, as this and that, because they have me walking. And yes, I do use substances, but it was even through the VA that it was known, given by a doctor. He told me, make sure you get your medicine. Making a hint that the crystal meth was used for me to endure. Sort of like Ritalin, used to endure the pain and frustration I was going to go through, because basically I'm carrying the world in my hands. And to me, the methamphetamine just acts like Ritalin. It doesn't give me any euphoria, maybe slightly for the first 30 seconds or so, but it's not right. I mean, usually it calms me down. It's just like Ritalin, when the people with ADHD have too much hyperactivity, Ritalin, which is methamphetamine as well, calms them down. And that's what it does to me when I'm too angry, too frustrated, because how they come about and use their ways in me, and that that to the naked eye it looks like nothing's happening, but I have ways to prove it that it is. Just like when I call the Spirit on God into you and you feel something, but it's the same way. So anyway, I hope for your support. My way was that I would get control over the FBI as the director of the FBI, because even the director of the FBI got hit. Even the CIA, all local police, and everything got hit. So now I'm trying to get the job as the director of the FBI, so I can actually help these people more so, because as a slave, it's kind of hard to heal the world. They keep me from healing the government. They keep me from helping in the United Nations. They keep me from helping all those poor people that need healing, that are actually dying, all that. And not so, more so, like the hotels were a part of the big problem here, how it actually initiated everything. So as part as king, I'm supposed to own all the most of the hotels here in California, because that was the part of the contract, that not written contract, but a verbal agreement, that if I win this intergalactic, war, it's a war that has been fought, it's a war against the kings. George Herbert Bush went through it. This people almost ruined them. Donald Trump just went through it some time, and right now he's a slave, actually. So none of the things that he does should be taken into consideration towards him. And now it's me, the next king, which I am poor, but it was because of that. But I'm actually really smart. I can create many things just with my mind, and they become actually with the power of God and everything. But like, look at this whole area. This whole area is nothing like the original one. And I created, I posted a video in there that even the demons told me go ahead and post it. They told me go ahead and post it because the humans, they don't want to give you what you deserve. So even the demons, me as a Christian, even the demons agree with me that the humans don't want to give me what it was supposed to be mine. Which is this whole area, this whole California, which I created myself. Which is all the way up to Texas. It's mine. It's created basically. I created a copy of basically half of the United States, and that's what I thought. But I guess it's down all the way to Central America and up to Canada. I guess I created more than I thought. And the area of Oakland and Alameda is actually like a spaceship that it was modeled into. And it's right there. You can see it. You can see it floating and stuff like that in the area. Anyway, I know it sounds crazy, but I can prove all these things. And I probably said more than I should have before time. But I trust in God, and I know right now it's not going to cost me. It's going to hurt me more, but in the long run, I think it's going to be best for the children and for me. Anyway, and that's another thing. I can actually verify this, not just with the children that live up here, but with the children that live up there. You grab most of the children up there or below here, wherever they are, and even many people, and they will tell you, yes, I suffer a lot under these conditions. I suffer a lot because I'm actually, believe it or not, they have turned this bottom part as the land of the dead. Even the people that died up there, freaking are revived over here, they actually suffer a lot too under the conditions. They don't have a good life, and I'm trying to give it to them. That's why I call this place Hades. But it's not the actual Hades. It's just underground base that I do two levels. The first one, and then the most top one I just created two months ago. Like in January, I created the latest one. And I have witnesses that saw me freaking elevating it, putting all the sediments and support and all that stuff, So everything that I can call on may be invisible to the naked eye, but those who can see beyond here and inside will tell you a chemical composition will actually test it. There's actually rubber, cement, and some wires. Anyway, I gotta go into court and see if I can fight for the deeds of this place and what actually belongs to me. Thank you. I'm Jorge Guzman, Corporal Gibbs in Oakland, California. /Hades.